Welcome, everybody. I'm Joel Freeman.
And I'm Brian Earhart.
We're here bringing you coverage from the 2018 Delaware Disc Golf Challenge presented by Innova. This coverage is brought to you by the PDGA and Millennium Golf Discs.
We have a pretty awesome second feature card with James Conrad, Eric Oakley, Brendan Smith, and Austin Hannum. A few different play styles, most definitely, taking on the really challenging Iron Hill Disc Golf course here.
Yeah, we've got a nice mix. Obviously James Conrad, super well-known player. Eric Oakley, Austin Hannum, also names that people, a lot of people out there have heard of. And then, a nice local name as well out here. So what are we looking at for hole one here?
Hole one, par 4, dogleg right, 605 feet. You really don't need to bite too much off the tee. If you're throwing a backhand, I'm assuming James is throwing a mid-range or maybe even a putter.
Right. I want to say this is a rock, so he's probably just going to, gently turn this to the right, try to get himself, just up there looking at it up and down.
Looks like a nice, smooth turnover, flattening.
That's a great
perfect
line.
And that just shows you right there, and now his approach shot is about 250, 260 feet. You really don't need to throw a driver unless you're doing what Eric's doing here.
Right. Here's Eric throwing a forehand, comfortable play, just letting it, smash it out flat and let it finish right.
A little bit early. Let's see where it goes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Never mind. Perfect. The thing about the forehand is the hole doesn't 90-degree cut to the right. There's a little bit more of a subtle fade, so you really have to be pinpoint if you're throwing a right sloping hyzer shot. And there's another beautiful turnover from Brendan.
Nice.
Nice and easy.
Okay, yeah, Brendan's going to be a little pinched, so that'll be a little tougher than the angles you'll see from James and Eric. Let's see what Austin does here.
Any opportunity to throw a forehand, he's going to do that.
Ooh, this looks a little early. Yeah, he's found a little bit of trouble. He'll more than likely get his 4, is why I say a little bit.
There's Brendan. Now we know he's got a little bit of a sidearm.
Yeah, a little
bit of pinball
off
action.
the trees.
Yeah, this is a tough spot.
Wow, okay. Cut roller. He might give himself a look with this. Oh my god!
I was wrong. Okay, that sounds good.
Austin Hannum with a putt for the birdie save. That was an awesome escape shot.
James, this should be pretty routine putter
nice
shot.
AVR.
And that AVR he's throwing is super mangled. He can throw it about 50% and get it to still flip over. So
great little
shot.
approach. That's a way to start off your tournament right there. Nice work to James.
Eric, probably another overstable disc, throwing a nice little, maybe not. Nice and straight to
Beautiful.
stable.
He
Maybe
thought
a harp.
He thought about clipping the cage there. That was a great upshot.
Beautiful.
Brendan with just a little soft approach there.
Simple.
Let's see what Austin can do. First putt of the tournament right here.
This could be beautiful. Ooh, I jinxed him.
It seemed to come out smooth, but obviously just a little off the mark. There we go. Cleans up nicely.
It's totally fine to 4 this hole, but really with the shot that Austin and Eric both have, the sidearm, you should be getting a 3 on this most of the time.
Right. Yeah, you want to start off with the birdie, but you're not feeling all that bad about missing this one.
Yeah.
I would say you want to get 1 out of the first 2.
Exactly.
Most of the top level guys are looking to do at least that. Brendan will tap in, and there we have our first hole. On to hole 2. So yeah, James and Eric opening up with nice birdies. Brendan and Austin taking pars.
Moving on to hole 2, 308 feet. Really doesn't play 308 feet. You have to play a lot more of a subtle hyzer to this basket. You don't really get to throw an overstable disc. You kind of have to cut this corner tight and have it flipping as it's getting to the basket. So James is probably throwing a T-bird of sorts.
Looks pretty good. A little long there.
You want to go a little higher, a little bit more angle.
Right, you want a sharper angle.
And if you're missing that middle tree, which kind of defines the 2 lines, you should have an open route to the basket. Eric throwing probably a felon. That looks pretty good.
Yeah,
and I jinxed him as well. Okay.
It was a good looking shot, but see what Brendan can do. You definitely want to
Oh,
push.
little slip job there. The thing about this course is even if you do hit the initial gap, there is a little bit of dice rolling that happens when it comes to either your landings with how many rocks there are in the fairway or on the green, or even some of these little soldier trees leading up to the basket. So all you can really do is hit the gap initially and pray that it lands, softly.
None of our players quite getting the tee shot they were looking for this time on hole 2. Kind of surprised to not really see anybody get themselves a putt, right?
Yeah, it definitely looked like none of them quite executed that subtle flipping hyzer that I had explained, but it looks like everyone's getting up and down.
Yep,
or
good up shot so far.
To.
Austin with a long bid, not bad.
Hitting early on this hole is the problem. That's if you kind of saw one off too early, you kick left. Saving the 3 there is really hard. But if you at least get up there, there's a pretty easy look at a 3.
We've seen James hit a lot of those kinds of putts, those 35, 40 footers all over tour this year.
World putting champ.
Oh, no kidding. By a landslide.
By a landslide.
James cleaned house that day at the World Putting Championships. All right, we'll have a couple tap-ins here. And
don't forget to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media. They're a company out east on the East Coast doing some really awesome work with the footage and the graphics and trying to push the envelope on what's done for post-production. So give them a follow on social media, and we will move on to hole 3.
All pars there on hole 2. So James and Eric, like I said, getting one of the first 2, so they're feeling fine. Austin and Brendan trying to get into the groove a little bit. What are we looking at on hole 3 here?
This one is kind of one of those holes you really want to be getting. You can go straight off the tee. You can try to bend one around the corner right. You can even hyzer off left, and you still have a look at birdie.
The important thing is really that second shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
James looks like maybe a T-bird or a destroyer. And again, like I said, hyzering out left and still has a subtle hyzer into the green. Eric?
Yeah, you'd love to be a little closer than that, but that's more than fine. He'll have a nice open look. He's got plenty of opportunity from birdie for there.
Eric with a beautiful drive. And really, going straight off the tee and hyzering left off the tee, that's a little too deep.
Yeah.
It's really the difference between a mid-range approach shot and a putter approach shot. So really not that much of a difference.
Right. See what Brendan's got cooking for us.
Smooth.
Looking good.
As long as it sits down.
Yep. It's kind of a long approach, but again, he's totally fine there. He's looking at a nice open shot.
Austin looking to boom a sidearm.
Potentially trying to bend it around the corner. Not bad. Coming out a little low.
We'll see.
See what he's looking at from there. He should have a nice angle still. It'll just be, a little tricky.
And something that I noticed about Austin this year is his backhand approach game has gotten really, really solid. He said he's put a lot of work into his mid-ranges and his putters, whereas he used to throw a lot more sidearm for those types of shots. So
absolutely.
Definitely deadly when it comes to landing on these kind of more treacherous greens. And Brennan getting a little bit of loving.
He stays up, though. This basket is perched on a little bit of kind of a, hard pan area. And there's, it drops off to the left there. So players are really going to try to play a little bit to the right, kind of like you see James doing.
Perfect.
He slides a little long, but players are really just trying to keep that left side from coming into play.
Exactly. However, you can land a shot softly in that green. The other thing when earlier I was talking about dice rolling.
Wow, what a shot from Eric.
You see a lot of exposed roots and rocks around these greens. So rollaways and some odd ground play kind of come into effect here as well. So
absolutely.
Really have to be wary about how your disc is landing, what angle it's landing on, and also putts like this.
See if Austin can get going here with a nice putt.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Great putt from Austin there, just outside the circle.
Beautiful.
And, he's got a birdie.
Eric, another nice one.
Eric. Yeah, you definitely do see a lot of roots, a lot of rocks. You see a lot of that out on Iron Hill. So you definitely are you know, you'll see players wanting to keep that nose up, kind of coming down soft onto the ground, as opposed to playing those close to the ground
Slides,
you know,
skips,
skip shots, type of things like that. All right, so hole 3, we got 3 birdies, not bad at all. So James and Eric cooking, you know, 2 down.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
All right, we're back. What are we looking at for hole 4, Brian?
Hole 4. Another one of those holes where as long as you put yourself out in the fairway, you have a pretty simple, well, not super simple, but still a look at birdie. You'll see a lot of right-handed backhand turnovers, trying to flex way into the gap like James is trying to do.
James is looking
Or is he
to
going
lay down a
roller?
roller. You think he's playing for the green with this?
With
the roller?
I think James is trying to give himself a long putt at an eagle. Just after talking to him the amount that I have this year, it sounds like
Absolutely.
every par 4 to him is a par 3 in his brain.
This is definitely the type of hole where players can kind of choose to bite as little or as much off as they would like,
Yes.
depending on what they're comfortable with.
Whoa!
Eric going with a really high shot. This is interesting.
Not sure what disc he threw, and normally the stuff he throws is pretty overstable, so that's a pretty interesting shot. And again, right there, that works.
It's a good result.
Totally
yeah.
works. Austin's going to throw a simple flat to fade forehand, which is what I throw as a lefty.
If you
And
can
if
get
he
some
gets
finish
around
on
it-
this. Yeah, he pushes it a bit long.
And that's jail. That's absolute jail. You kind of have to get this moving, and that's why you're seeing a lot of those righty backhands fading right away, not the long flipping and then turning over turnovers.
Right. Most players are going to want to land, you know, somewhere in the general realm of where Eric landed. And then from there, you have somewhat of just a tight little tunnel,
Yes.
maybe a 200-foot putter type of shot.
Exactly. You want to kind of be in that middle lane of the fairway so you don't have to work too hard.
So Brendan, that was a tricky angle. He
Yep.
was having to get something on an anhyzer and ride into that gap.
And as you can see, even from where Eric was, that was a tough shot.
Still not an easy shot, even if you're looking straight at the gap. And Austin, like you said, he's looking at some jail back there. Let's see what James can do.
A rare tomahawk. Not a bad shot.
Lighting up the tomahawk.
And again,
He's got a look.
his whole mindset is giving himself a chance. That's all
Right.
he wants, is to give himself an opportunity. And his long putting abilities is
Nice.
definitely enough. So
Brendan with a good approach there.
did not see where that
Ooh.
went.
Austin was
there
trying to
is.
give it a
Okay.
little half go there. Maybe flashing the
Oh, yeah.
chains, but leaving it a little short.
Eric trying to get nice little layup. Perfect.
Well done by Eric.
James, this is kind of his butter range, so to speak.
No kidding.
And I was
There
right.
we go. Bang.
Money.
All right, let's see if we can get a Gatekeeper rewind there. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Getting another look. James Conrad, ladies and gentlemen.
James Money Buckets Conrad, as they called
As
him
they-
in elementary school. Austin.
Oh, that's great.
I like
Good,
Austin's
good couple
putt.
of putts there.
Nice flat, lots of spin.
I agree.
Very pretty.
Austin Hannum, he's got that kind of just smooth delivery.
Mhm.
It always looks very casual. He makes
Yes.
it look so easy.
Fun fact, during the second round I played with Austin and he had the stomach flu and he still beat me.
I heard about that.
He is a tough cookie, I will definitely say. Moving on to hole 5. What do you think about this hole, Joel?
This hole's awesome. It's a very demanding tee shot. You will see players kind of trying to get themselves that look for an eagle. If you can bend something just slightly to the left off the tee here, obviously you don't want to go too hard left because you're going to get off the fairway. But if you can bend something slightly left, kind of like you see James doing here, and then if you can throw another power shot up onto the green, you may be able to get yourself a look at a 3.
That's the interesting thing about this par 5. The optimal shot to get an eagle on this is a giant righty sidearm flex or a lefty backhand flex. And the funny thing is, if you're trying to get up this fairway and you throw a distance driver, you're going to, like you said, hyzer out too far left to have the opportunity for the 3. So you have to throw kind of a spin control flipping shot with a righty backhand. So
Absolutely.
really cool hole, and the scoring spread was a lot better than I thought it was going into it.
Sure. Yeah, and you honestly you'll see a lot of the field just kind of pull out a mid-range, trying to stay in the fairway, keep it clean, and just get their birdie 4.
Exactly.
It seems like that's what most of these players on our card have elected to do.
Beautiful backhand.
Nice flex shot from Austin. And that's a nice spot to be. A little to the right. There's a nice window into the green from there, so he'll have a great angle from there.
Exactly. And like many of the par 4s and par 5s at Iron Hill, if you're at least putting your first shot in play, there's a lot of different ways to play your second shot to have a pretty feasible birdie look. So it's a lot more about hitting fairways. A lot of the players that ranked high in hitting fairways at this tournament were ones that placed very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So James, I believe he was trying to run the green. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Obviously he
no
got a little
questions
kick.
whatsoever.
He got a little kick off to the side there, but we'll see what he's got for an up and down.
Okay.
Brendan
Little
struggling
something,
a little bit. I want to say that was his 3rd shot, so he's we're looking at his 4th here. See if he can get up and down, save that par.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's looking a little short there.
And it's still a hard green to access too.
Absolutely.
Even if you are in the middle, you still have to get around a couple of groupings of soldier trees. So James obviously does that.
Good
Sitting
shot from
right
James.
there.
Yep.
Eric with the classic sidearm in the bucket.
Ooh.
Oh my!
Oh, and what an unfortunate roll. A fantastic run from Eric Oakley. And just
Get in.
Wow. And Austin trying
right.
to bring one up too.
Okay.
All right.
I see
guys are
these
scaring
boys.
it.
Ooh, I like that.
Brendan.
I want to know what disc that is.
That was a good little bid.
Nice little
from
air
down there.
bounce.
No kidding.
Old school.
Nice putt from Eric.
Beautiful putt.
Gosh, and that's tough to do. He feels like his shot might, he's watching that shot come in on the basket, feeling like it might go in, and then just watch it roll all the way down, steps up, sinks the putt.
That's a
into
pro
it.
move right
awesome.
there. Pro move. James with a pretty easy putt here. Simple. And if you're
Nicely
putting
done
that
there.
first shot in play, the 4 on this one is a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is put the second one, which is a lot more open, put that in play, and then you should have a pretty easy upshot.
Right.
So.
As you said, a lot of the shots out here, the tee shot is the key.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 birdies there, and the unfortunate bogey from Brendan there.
Moving into hole 6. This is another cool hole. What do you think about this tee shot here?
I like it a lot. I think there's kind of a handful of different ways that you can look at this shot. I personally throw something kind of overstable, and I kind of try to push that tree line just like you see James doing. And then you basically, I personally try to just finish as far up as I can, just make the distance easier on that upshot.
Yes.
You want to stay close to that back tree line
Just
to
like
open up
that.
the upshot. So these guys are both doing a good job so far. We'll see what the next 2 guys do.
The interesting thing here, and I think Austin has got a similar idea. Notice how they're all throwing hyzers, but the discs that they're throwing are not cutting left out of their hand right away.
Right.
You don't have to throw an overstable disc to throw a hyzer. If you control the tempo, control the spin, you can throw a flippy disc and get it to penetrate way more forward.
Right.
And that's why I like the design of this hole for sure.
So Brendan and Austin, they didn't get as much distance as they wanted. But again, they are on that right side, which is a very favorable, way to play this hole.
Definitely.
So they still will have, an opportunity to do something. It looks like Austin is going with the roller. So obviously his angle was a little pinched. Ooh, and a nice little reaction from the tree there.
Not too shabby.
We'll have an up and down for par. Maybe a long run for the bird. James lining up that putter that he's so good at throwing.
Little Annie panda
Looking
flat.
good.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect landing.
Yep.
Matched the angle of the hill perfectly. That is a pro shot right there.
Yeah, James is known for his command over his putter shots for a reason. That was a great upshot from Eric as well. And that's what you see when players get their drives on that right side of the fairway. Ooh, look at this.
Oh, the magic frisbee. I like that.
But it opens up that shot. Eric was just able to pitch up a hyzer, so that's a great angle. You didn't get to see any players play from the left, but the left gets to be a much trickier angle.
Absolute jail.
So, yeah.
James with a nice tap-in birdie after a beautiful upshot.
Absolutely. James and Eric showing you the textbook way of playing hole 6. So we've got one more tap in here by Brendan.
I don't know why he's not putting with that magic black frisbee. That's the coolest flying disc I've seen in a while.
Absolutely. It's looking good so far. So 2 birdies, 2 pars.
We're looking here at James Conrad, who is 5 down through 5.
Through 6.
Through 6. Oops.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hole 7. What are we looking at here, Brian?
We have a pretty tough hole. We have a really tight gap off the tee, and even if you choose to hit this gap, there is a tree in the middle of the fairway.
Ooh, James Conrad pulling out the rare sidearm. Didn't work for him this time, did it?
Didn't pay off. Eric hopefully throwing a better one here.
Making sure his footing is secure with the towel, of course.
Uh-oh.
Man, he pulls it a little wide as well.
Interesting.
So for the righty forehand, you really want to get something moving straight through this gap. There's one tree that's right more or less in the optimal line.
Beautiful.
Austin throws a nice flip up here. Yeah. In the circle and
That
back
will
out.
suffice for sure.
Not bad.
Anytime you can get a putt on this hole, accessing the screen is pretty tough. So that was a good shot.
And our first forehand out of Brendan, I think.
Off the tee, I think.
Off the tee, yeah.
Yeah, not too shabby. Got down there a little bit, maybe not a putt. James with a little longer upshot.
This is on a good angle here.
Ouch.
Oh gosh, right when I said that.
Bit of a stinger there. I'm not sure why Brendan doesn't throw that magic frisbee again.
Oh,
I guess that one's magic too. Pretty good shot.
That was a
Little
great
tomahawk.
shot. Yep, disappeared up in the air.
Awesome.
Came right back out, circle's edge.
Eric's sidearm's pretty good, so we'll see what he's got up his sleeve here.
That was well thrown. They'll be
And a little
inside the
lovin'.
circle for
Oh, yeah.
for a nice little save there. All right, what's James looking at? Maybe a 60-footer inside that? Yeah, I called it.
A little
Way too
shorter.
long.
Yeah, a little lack of commitment on that one. A little wobbly out of his hand.
Come on, Austin. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
Very
2
nice.
from Austin.
This is a very good hole to get.
Absolutely.
Most
This one
definitely.
feels great. And I want to say, do you think oh, we're going to get a rewind there. Check this
Uh-oh.
out. Yeah.
Clean.
Austin
Beautiful
Hannum.
putt.
Smooth delivery like we were talking about. And he threw, it looks to be, okay, it was a driver. I was going to say a mid-range, but it looks like it was kind of something a little more understable. So he kind of played a little more of that flip up than the full flex. Brendan off the top there. James to clean up his 4. There we go.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It's one of those holes, though, if you really don't hit the gap, kicking early will send you into a spot where you don't have a comfortable approach to the basket. So
Absolutely.
completely understandable some of the bogeys we're seeing out here.
Absolutely. Yep, you'll hear us say it again and again. Tee shots out here at Iron Hill are so important.
Oh, yeah. No matter what it is, as long as you have some sort of bread and butter shot to throw off the tee, you'll do just fine out here. No matter where it goes, as long as you can throw straight and hit an initial gap, it's
Absolutely
takes off a lot of stress out here.
So we got quite the spread of scores there on hole 7. We're gonna move on to the daunting hole 8.
Oh boy, kind of weird in the sense that you can try to throw a long sidearm righty flex up the hill. If you land on top of the hill, there are rocks all over the place, so you can't really take an approach.
Many rocks.
Austin is trying that flex,
Looks like a decent line.
and he got
Wow.
some serious loving on that one. Not
Some
sure
good
if he's
power.
too far left or not, but getting up there definitely helps.
Austin Hannum's got some sneaky power. That
Oh,
was,
yeah.
I don't know if you could tell for all the viewers at home, but that was a high velocity forehand right there.
Oh yeah, that's huge. The man has a rotator cuff of steel.
That is without a doubt.
Or titanium. We don't know.
Steel, titanium. One of the two is in that man's arm, no doubt.
James Conrad throwing, and it looks like James was trying to actually throw the hyzer backhand that flipped late, which is actually an awesome line.
Absolutely. That looked like it could have potentially been a play for Eagle.
Ooh.
A great little reaction for Brendan there.
We like that. We like
But
that.
yeah, James, I couldn't tell how aggressive he was trying to get, but he didn't quite execute, obviously. Kicked, he's going to be left pinched on the right side. Eric leaving his shot wide.
And on the
there.
second shot, you really just want to get to the top middle of that fairway. You really don't need to bite that much off if you're looking at birdie. If you get up to the middle of that top section, you should have some sort of look to get to the green.
Absolutely. We're seeing James pull out another forehand. The woods will do that to
That's
you.
how you know the course is pretty wooded. If James is throwing more than one sidearm.
That was a good out, though.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be in the fairway and trying to get up and down from here. This is a very difficult shot to get onto the green.
Especially with him not throwing. Wow.
Wow. And is that? Oh, okay. That was the circle for the ladies pin. For the FPO pin. I was like, he left that just outside the circle. All right.
That will work.
Austin, making progress.
Oh, yeah. That will give him a very easy look to the basket. Eric in a kind of a questionable spot. Let's see.
Wow.
And
gets
that
it
is
out on
definitely not an overstable disc. That was really pretty.
Gets it out on a decent angle. He will be left a little bit off the fairway. Probably a pretty obstructed, maybe jump putt or something like that.
Brendan, another sidearm, coming in clean.
Not bad.
Not too shabby. A little bit longer of a putt, but he should have a chance. A little touch sidearm from Austin here.
Nice. Knocks up against the wood. I have heard of a 3 on this hole.
A clean 3 or a throw-in?
I think a clean 3. And I want to say it may have been a shorter pin spot.
Get you
Anyway.
some.
Ooh. I've heard rumors of it happening.
I
but
can see it with
is-
the shot that Austin threw off the tee. If he was in the middle, he could have definitely gotten it.
Or even with the type of shot that James was lining
Exactly.
up. Had he, hit that lane, he may have
Exactly.
been looking at something magical. But it's no joke.
It's a very
Of a hole.
strategic hole. You can play it a
Absolutely.
lot of different ways.
and James just beckoning for his putter. Eric just grabbed it and ran off with it. So we'll see if James is going to be getting that putter back anytime soon. Let's see. All right, Austin with a nice birdie there. The rest of our group's going to take a par there.
We got a bit of a battle going on. 4 down through 8 for 3 of our players here. Hole 9, a reachable par 4, 555 feet. You actually take one of those routes. What is the shot here to get to the basket?
Well, so the aggressive play here, it is a little downhill. It is reachable for some of the bigger arms out there. I take like a flippy high-speed driver. So I'm throwing my Shrike on just a high, ideally committed slight hyzer flip to just a billowing anhyzer that just just cruises on down the lane.
We might see that from James right here.
I'm feeling like this is a rock shot from James.
So it looks like these players are all playing for just the simple birdie. They're trying to hit the gap, land somewhere reasonable, and then throw a putter mid-range up to the basket and get that clean birdie.
Right. As we've said, gap is priority. The tee shot is priority. You really just want to make your gap and get yourself in a position. Brendan kicking off to the side a little bit.
Brendan looks like he's got one of those rounds going where he can't quite seem to miss the trees.
Right. We've seen some slight miscues. He's found himself, in the rough a handful of times. So we're going to see if Brendan can battle back and see if he can work his way through to some birdies.
Eric doing some karate with the bugs out here. He is very nimble. Throwing a clean sidearm. Let's see.
Wow.
Woo.
A great little kick off the tree. That's awesome.
Love it.
So Eric will have a tap-in birdie. We're going to see another... Is this a sidearm or a tomahawk? A tomahawk from James.
It's interesting. I wish we could have kind of seen where he was at and what his options were. Because, never mind. Hold on. Magic Frisbee. This might go in.
Here it is again.
And he gave himself another chance.
Not bad at all. Yeah, he's got a look there. James, maybe a long jump putt here.
Looks like James has had some questionable lies this round, and yet he's still 4 down. So,
absolutely,
just shows you how good his course management skills are.
He's making it work. Austin with a little layup here.
Missing some trees in the process.
That was a good shot. See if Brendan can connect here.
I have definitely heard of some 2s on this hole, some clean 2s.
Absolutely.
I watched you almost make good for a 2 here.
Yeah, I was able to give myself, 45-foot look and left the putt a little short. I've heard Paul Ulibarri has 2 this hole in the past.
Most definitely. All those big, high flip-over shots with the distance drivers. Definitely doable, but if you do kick early, it's pretty much an automatic 4. So that's the interesting part about this hole for sure.
Absolutely. Ooh, and Austin borrowing a disc from Eric there.
Someone make a phone
played.
call to Pro Discus.
Uh-oh.
Maybe he liked it too much. Yeah. Maybe he's switching.
He might ask to borrow it again soon. Eric with a nice 3 there. The rest of our group taking 4s here. Eric's on a good pace here. 5 down.
And that was the front 9. If you want more disc golf action from Gatekeeper Media, please stay tuned for the back 9.